All right, everybody. Welcome to the Nintendo Pulse podcast, episode number 36. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, recording this late, not too late, though, on Monday, July 23rd, 2012. And joining me, Edgar first.
It's so weird that you said late. This is the earliest we've ever recorded this show.
Well, late to me is 2 hours less late to you, so... But yeah, it's pretty early. Usually we're not starting till around 11:30 my time. It's 10:30 my time, so it's not too late.
Yeah, I'm being very thoughtful. I'm trying to give you a little heads up and trying to push it that early.
You're very caring. You're putting my needs before yours. She
Absolutely.
does. She
That's
does.
what I do.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very nice of you, Edgar.
What's going on, dude?
I don't know. That was getting kind of gross. Yeah, no, nothing much, man. It's been a while. We didn't do a show last week.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be the kind of the way things happen for the next little while. Basically, what we've decided to do here for Nintendo Pulse, just because there isn't that much news. I mean, there's a lot of 3DS news. Turn that music down a little tiny bit. Is we're gonna change this podcast for the next little while, at least for the summer, and we'll see what happens after that. We're gonna take it down to a bi-weekly release schedule, so we're gonna only be releasing every second week. So you won't be able to find a show every week because we're not going to be putting one out. So if you want to know the release schedule, I'm going to try to update our vgpodcast.com/live site with the dates that we're recording. Edgar and I will chat after the show and kind of figure out what works for us, and that'll be there. So if you want to join us live, you'll be able to. But you'll also be able to see when each episode is kind of expected. So if we record on a Monday, I try to have the episode out by the Tuesday, sometimes the Wednesday, depending on how crazy things are. So that's kind of how it's going to be for a little while. I think that's a good idea. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
I think so,
especially
too.
until up until especially maybe the month or two before the release of the Wii U.
Yeah, getting into September, October would probably be a good time to ramp it up a little bit.
Oh,
bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So the Nintendo Pulse is bi-weekly for the next little while. It's a little bit of a summer break for Edgar and I, so we're not doing a show every single week.
What's it like over there right now? Is it nice over in Canada?
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It hit 32 today, so let me do a conversion. 32C to F.
What is that? 32,
it is 90 degrees.
That's hot.
Yeah, so it hit 90.
That's not good anymore.
It's been like that for a couple weeks, man. It's been with the Humidex, it's hit 40 degrees Celsius, which is like hell, I think, is the actual conversion when you do that.
See, and I thought it was going to be, I was asking you because I thought you would have had perfect weather right now.
And then it's 10 degrees. We have to scrape the windows in the morning because we get frost. No, our summers.
I figured you would have had really nice, 60 degrees, really nice cooler temperature. And I figured that because right now it's like a heat wave right now.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's a heat wave here. Well, actually not really. This is kind of our summers. Like Winnipeg is a really weird city. I don't understand how there's concrete or asphalt or metal that actually lasts a year, because we hit minus 40 in the winter, which is minus 40 Fahrenheit. And we hit around plus 36 or plus 38 in the summer, which is, let's see, what's 38? Convert 38C to F.
Probably what?
It is 100.4. So we go from minus 40 Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit in 1 year. It's the weirdest thing, but it's actually one of the coolest places to live because you can go to the beach. We have one of the top 10 white sand beaches in the world. Is like an hour away from my house, so we can drive to the beach. It's really awesome. And then in the winter we can go snowboarding, we can go skiing, we can do skating. So it's actually really cool because we get kind of both ends of the spectrum. Not as cool as a province or a state that has mountains, so you can actually go down to the beach and then go skiing after, because you can just climb up the mountain. But we get it separated by a couple months, so it's actually pretty awesome.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Yes. But yeah, so back to recording schedule. So we're doing this one every 2 weeks. If you want to see a show every week, we are recording the bonus stage live every single Friday night at 10 p.m. Edgar promised me he's going to show up and he's going to heckle people in the chat room. So if you want to be heckled by Edgar, you have to show up.
It's going to happen.
So yeah, every 10 p.m. Central, on a Friday night, we are doing the bonus stage, which is it's a radio show that we used to do here in Winnipeg. Unfortunately, the radio station shut down, so we took the radio show and we made it a podcast. So we do it live, just like we were in the radio studio, but we're doing it here on the VG Podcast Network every Friday at 10 p.m. Central. And urge you to come and join us. We have a newsletter, so if you go to vgpodcast.com and click newsletter at the top, you can actually fill in the information there, and we'll send you out live recording notices when we do live shows. So if you can't remember, every Friday at 10 p.m., sign up for the newsletter, and we'll send you an email right before it happens, so you can come and check us out.
Cool.
All right, Matt. So let's get into the rest of the show. We got lots of stuff to talk about this episode, actually. Since we haven't done an episode for 2 weeks, we got like 500 news stories. So we're probably going to be here for the next 8 hours. So hopefully you don't need to sleep tonight, Edgar.
No, but to make it really quick. Oh, wait, I have to wait for your question.
Yeah, what you been playing?
Super Mario Land 3D. Still
Digging it? Still digging it? You like it?
I love it. It's such a good game. It's so fun. Mm-hmm. And then every once in a while I get Street Passed and I get to collect something from a little mushroom house. I think it's still a lot of fun. Actually, what I'm trying to find is my copy of the new Super Mario Brothers, because more and more I'm playing with like Betty's nieces and nephews, and so that seems to be the game that everyone has. Right. And I'd like to be able to do multiplayer and play the card games that are on there, or all the little mini games that come with being able to do the multiplayer, the multi-cart gameplay. But that one, and what else am I playing? And Pictocross. I'm getting back into Pictocross because that game is awesome.
Cool. I just as you were talking, I went over to my shelf that's right behind me, and I found I have 2 copies of New Super Mario Brothers for the DS.
Do you?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Why?
Well, because both my kids have a DS and they both wanted to play the game, so I had to buy 2 copies of it. So I have one red and one black. It's weird, the fact that I'm in a place now where I'm actually buying multiple copies of a game because my kids want to both play it at the exact same time.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? Really? I have to buy 2 $35, $40 copies of a DS game? All right, I guess that's what I got to do. Yeah, having kids is fun.
And just to make sure everything that I'm 100% correct, the unfortunate part about Nintendo's policies is when you buy a game online is that it's tied to your singular. You can't put your account on multiple DSs, which is a bummer. Maybe
when they come out with the Nintendo account, like whatever they're going to be calling it, like is it your Club Nintendo account? Is it something else? Right. There's talk. We'll get into the news later in the episode that there's going to be a unified account, and if that happens, maybe you can have it on multiple devices. I doubt it with Nintendo. Apple allows you to install the same app on as many iPhones, and it's as many as you own. Personally, I think it's up to 25 or something. It's some stupidly large number. So because I have multiple iPhones and iPads and all that stuff, but I can buy a game once and install it on all of them, which is awesome. I don't think Nintendo's going to be that friendly. But you never know.
Kind of a bummer.
Yes.
Lloyd, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot. Been digging out my Wii, playing a lot of older Wii games, just going through my collection, making sure games work and all that stuff. I actually went to we have a grocery store here called Superstore up in Manitoba. A couple parts of Canada has it, but they have a game section. They have a lot of other things. They sell electronics and things like that. One of the ones near my house is having a game blowout. So they were blowing out every single game in their store because they're renovating. So they want to change the way that everything goes. So any game that, except for just new releases, things that just were released, was anywhere between $10 and $15. So you get Mass Effect 3 for $15. It was that crazy. But I went there with my son, and we went through and we bought a whole bunch of games that he's been wanting to get for a while, or games that he thought that he'd like to play. So I ended up picking 7 games, and I paid like $73 or something crazy for all the games after all was said and done. So I picked up Lego Star Wars 3, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Harry Potter, Green Lantern, a whole bunch of like really awesome games. I got Transformers, Battle for Cybertron, I think is what it's called, something like that. God of War 3, a whole bunch of games for PlayStation 3 and other systems. And yeah, I got like 7 games for like $74 after.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
It was stupid.
And they sound like awesome games too.
And they're all games that came out in the last year or so, except for I think Lego Harry Potter was a little bit older. But it's like these were still like, if you go to other shops, they're still $30. And yeah, I got them all for like $70. It was crazy. So we've been making our way through that. We were playing the Green Lantern game that came out just around the time the movie came out. And so it's about a year old. It's not the newest game, but it's actually kind of fun. My son loves it. He's a huge Green Lantern fan. That's like, I think, his favorite superhero. So we've been playing a lot of that. Unfortunately, we're playing on the PS3. They didn't have a Wii version because I thought the Wii controls might be a little bit easier for him since you could just hold the Wiimote sideways and do that. But they didn't have a Wii version of it. So I picked up the PS3 version, and it's been working okay. He really digs it.
Cool.
But yeah, other than that, really not much. I've been wanting to get a game for my 3DS, but nothing's coming out that I really want. I'm really looking forward to New Super Mario Brothers 2 though. I think that's gonna be my jam for a while.
Yeah, I think everyone's excited for that one.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
All right, man. What do you say we get into the news?
Let's do it.
All right. So first up, we just want to make a quick mention that if you haven't opened up your Puzzle Swap game in the last little while, and that's when you pass people and you get the Street Pass notification that you pass somebody, you can go and trade puzzle pieces with them. If you just go open it up now, you're actually going to get a piece for a new puzzle. It's Kirby's 20th anniversary, and you'll get a free piece, and it'll unlock another puzzle that you can then trade pieces for. Nintendo seems to be doing that. Every once in a while, they'll send you a Spot Pass notification that, hey, look, we have a new puzzle, and here's a free piece. I like to unlock all the boards as many as I can, because then if you like match somebody or street pass somebody, you can add some of their puzzle pieces to your board, and the more boards you have, the more you have access to. So I like to add as many as I can, but yeah, I've only completed like 3 out of like the 15 that there are, so I still got a lot of work to do.
Cool.
A lot of work to do. Anyway, let's get on with the news. Speaking of work to do,
this one's good. I like this. I like numbers. I'm a numbers guy.
We used to love NPDs. That used to be our thing. Like whenever the NPDs came out, we were all over that. And NPD has changed the way they do things now. They don't offer as much detail as before, but they did give us some details for July 2012. Over kind of like sales and things like that, and people have taken those sales numbers and kind of compared it with year over year with other consoles and things like that. So they saw that like overall there was a decline of 30% from last year to this year. So sales
across all consoles,
across
right?
everything, the whole industry. So sales declined from 989 million to almost 700 million. Hardware sales dropped 45%, which I mean, it doesn't make that much. It doesn't really surprise me. I mean, a lot of people are buying stuff for their tablets, so their iOS tablets or their Android tablets. A lot of people are buying stuff on Steam now. They're going direct to the distributors, or they're not really buying through an actual store anymore. So those numbers don't really make me that worried, but I know there's a lot of analysts that were saying the games, there's another great fall, it's another Atari 2600 all over again.
I don't think that's the case, because we're also at the end of the cycle as well.
Totally. I mean,
like we're people are ramping up for the new, everyone's kind of getting their heads in the game for the newer consoles coming out and whatnot.
Yeah,
so,
like 360 and PS3 have been out forever. The Wii is dead essentially. Like they're waiting for the Wii U. Like obviously this is what's going to happen at the end of the end of a console generation. But then they did go on and say that Lego Batman 2 sold 450,000 copies across all 7 platforms that it's on, and accessories rose 4%. So people are still buying replacement controllers and other stuff for their consoles. So it's not all crazy. But then there was some other some analysis that was done, and basically comparing kind of the 3DS sales to what the DS sales were, and basically the 3DS is up almost 25% at this point in its life to what the DS was doing. So 3DS is doing pretty good. People are saying that the 3DS was dead for a while. A bunch of great games came out, started selling like crazy. The price drop happened, and yeah, 3DS is selling pretty good. If you look at the Vita, is not doing so good, which
It's not doing good at all.
which
Like
sucks.
even in Japan, it's just not doing well.
Which really sucks. The Vita is such an awesome platform. I'd love to own one, and I'd love to play games on it. I loved my PSP way back in the day. You guys know that. I mean, I did the PSP podcast for how many years? I can't justify buying one right now because there's 2 games that I want to play, and I don't want to spend $250 to buy 2 $60 games or 2 $50 games.
Which games are they? Which games would you want to play?
I want to play Uncharted, and I want to play what's it called? Gravity something or other. What's it called? I can't think of the name right now, but it's a downloadable only title, so I think it's only $20 or something. So it's not a full retail package. And there's other games that I wouldn't mind playing, like there's the Katamari game and other stuff, but none of them are really like going to justify the purchase. Maybe when Assassin's Creed comes out and some of the other games, if there's like a portable Ratchet and Clank, I mean, I'm going to have to buy the system because I love Ratchet and Clank. But for right now, there really isn't anything. And you'd think they would have learned because Nintendo had that problem. They had no good games. They had like 1 or 2 titles. And Nintendo said, "Oh crap, we're basically getting squashed here." So they came out with, "Okay, here's your Mario Kart, here's this, here's that," and next thing you know, the consoles are selling pretty damn good, which is great for Nintendo and great for us because that means that the more that sell, the more games that we're going to get from developers as well. So
absolutely.
But anyway. The death of the 3DS has been talked about. I don't think it's quite gonna happen the way some people think because it's selling better than the DS did when the DS first came out. So that's
when it's gonna start getting really interesting when we start getting to the point in the same lifespan where like the Nintendo Lite or the DS Lite got introduced.
Yeah.
You know, because then that started selling like record numbers and it became the hot ticket again.
Yeah.
So once we hit those numbers, then I'd be curious to see how the 3DS compares to the relaunch.
Exactly. I don't think the XL is going to do that. To be honest, I don't think the XL is going to do what the DS Lite did. But I think it's still going to sell really well. I mean, people want to play on bigger screens. I mean, I'm really, really, really close to putting my pre-order in and picking one up on release day. Yeah, I want the bigger screens, man. That's why I like playing games on my iPad, not my iPhone. I mean, I want the bigger screen. I'm getting old. My eyes are getting old. So the bigger screens help old guys like me, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, moving on. Some other stuff that's going to help with sales for Nintendo is some details have been brought out about New Super Mario Bros. 2. The first one is this game is going to be available at retail, but also as a downloadable title. It's going to be the first retail game that Nintendo's going to be selling as a download-only title, or download as well title. So you can get it in retail, or you can just open up your eShop. And to kind of celebrate this, and also to acclimatize people to giving Nintendo all your money and not 30% to GameStop or other retailers where you're buying this, you can buy the game in stores, and that's great. You'll get whatever pre-order bonuses that the stores had for you. But if you buy from the eShop, Nintendo's going to be giving you double the Club Nintendo coins. So instead of getting 50 for buying it in the eShop, or buying it in retail rather, you're going to get 100 coins if you buy it in the eShop. So that's 1/6 of the way to your platinum reward for the year. That is pretty much a downloadable title when they give you the option to get titles. Pretty good deal. I don't know. Does that sway you to buy it online, or are you still going to go to the store?
That's the thing, is like, because we talked about last time that Nintendo wants to keep you going to the brick and mortar facilities, by keeping the price identical, but then also by giving the store and the shops a way to sell them at a cheaper price, at a discount. So when you go to GameStop, you'll buy a card or a code versus getting a cartridge, and they'll be allowed to discount it further than what Nintendo is going to be selling it for. So
exactly.
There's kind of like, okay, well, and I know there's certain people that won't ever trade, that are totally okay with buying it online and just dealing with and rather than dealing with, GameStop or whatnot, and being able to just, for the convenience of it. So the 100 points versus 50 is gravy.
Yeah.
But then there's going to be some people that are going to want to go to the store, just because it's right up the street. It'll be cheaper that way. But then when you add tax in, I don't know. I think it's going to be kind of even at the end.
Well, you get charged tax on the eShop as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, you do. which sucks because that would be a
Oh,
great way to save money. I remember when the iOS App Store first launched. For a while there, they weren't charging tax in Manitoba for whatever reason, so I was able to get games without tax. It was great, and then all of a sudden Apple flipped the switch, and I was like, oh god, that sucks. It's 12% net more now for everything I buy.
no kidding.
Club Nintendo stuff, they do charge tax. I don't know, maybe it's not everywhere, but I know they do in Manitoba.
That's weird because I don't think for Apple I've ever been charged tax.
Maybe it's different in LA. I know Amazon doesn't charge tax there, but you have to
Right.
claim at the end of the year. You have to fill out your tax form and say that I bought $1,000 worth of online purchases. Here's my
Right.
7% tax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they do that for digital downloads as well.
Huh.
Personally, for me, I like these. I like having the cartridges. I like having the boxes. I like putting it on my bookshelf behind me. I like collecting, and you can't really do that when you're buying something digitally. And when I'm spending $50 on something, I would much rather have a physical piece of plastic in my hand than
Yeah.
bits on my account in the cloud somewhere. So part of me wants to try it out just to see how good it works, like if it's slower playing from the download, how big it is, that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, I think I'm probably just going to be picking up the physical cartridge myself.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good experiment. In Japan, it's even weirder. Like you can buy the game in retailers, or you can buy basically a card with a download code on it for 5% cheaper. So you could save 5% by doing the code digitally instead
Oh,
of
that's
buying
awesome.
it online, which is like, I don't understand that, but I guess they want to bring stuff out so it encourages people to go to the retailer, whether you want the physical or the digital. But it's just really, really odd. I don't quite get it.
And I just confirmed it. Apple doesn't charge me anything for anything on the App Store for tax.
Oh, I hate you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish that
Yeah.
was in fact the case for me.
So that's definitely, and I don't remember that even on the Nintendo Store. So I'm sure it's the same thing.
So there you are. You're saving money. Well,
Yeah,
that you have to pay at the end of the year because you're a good upholding citizen.
Oh yeah,
that pays
because
his
I
taxes.
totally claim that. Yeah.
Yeah. So some other details about New Super Mario Brothers 2 was released as well, and I don't really know what this means yet. Nintendo hasn't really said, but they're basically saying that there is going to be a global count of coins. So if you play the game and you collect a 1,000 coins, there's going to be some sort of running tally that is going to tally up all of these coins that are collected. So maybe people are it's being rumored actually. So if your spot pass is on, you'll send all these details up, and it's rumored that after you hit certain milestones, certain things will be unlocked in the game. Nintendo hasn't come out and say it, but it has been rumored. Some things have been said to retailers, I guess, or you know how these rumors start. Someone tells someone who tells someone else. So I think that's really cool. It would be cool to see how many coins are collected. I mean, it's probably going to hit 1 billion in the first hour, and it's going to just like keep doubling like crazy because there's going to be millions of people playing this game. But wouldn't it be cool that if you hit at like 100 billion, you get to play as like Waluigi or something, like just some other thing that gets unlocked just by hitting these thresholds. It's a pretty cool
it'd be
idea.
awesome. I mean this is what Nintendo's good at, and this is what they kind of strive for. They want to get as many people playing their game as possible at the same time, and have like a sense of community or family in a sense.
Yeah.
And the only thing I haven't seen this too often, but like Dance Central had something like this not too long ago, and I was so excited. It was the first time. Like, I hate doing this kind of stuff. I hate linking my game to anything else other than the game. Like, I don't want to attach Twitter. I don't want to attach Facebook. But there was some kind of promotion where if people danced a certain number of hours, like it unlocked a character.
Okay.
And it was the first time I was like really stoked. I'm like, oh man, that is totally awesome, and I'd be willing to.
You really love that game, don't you?
That game's just a lot of fun. That
Wow.
game's just a good time. It's just fun. Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, it doesn't happen. Games don't do that very often, where they have this community goal.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely not. There was like the Katamari game on iOS was like that. Actually, Katamari itself, sorry, no, not Katamari. It was the Nobby Nobby Boy. Was a game where you stretch a certain amount and you basically have to stretch to the moon and then to Mars and all the planets and stuff like that. And it was a global kind of thing. It'd be cool if Nintendo did that. If they the first billion, it unlocks something, and then the next 10 billion, and then 100 billion, and things like that. It would be pretty cool. It would make people want to play the game more and collect more coins.
Yeah, for sure. Like even panels, unlocking like some kind of Street Pass panels for everyone.
Totally. Special hats or something, because Nintendo's
wallpaper,
stupid
hats. Stuff like that. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, you could get a nice ringtone even. It would be good.
Ooh, I hear those are the hot thing nowadays.
Yeah. Jokes from before. All right, moving on. Speaking of jokes, Angry Birds is coming to the 3DS. And
how dare you? They're our official sponsor of this podcast.
They are. I'm sorry, Rovio. I know you're going to pull your funding and we'll be poor again. But yeah, speaking of jokes, Angry Birds was announced for the PlayStation 3, the 360, and the 3DS. And the joke is you could buy these. It's a trilogy. It's called Angry Birds Trilogy. It comes with Angry Birds, it comes with Angry Birds Seasons, and it comes with Angry Birds Rio. So if you bought these on the iPhone, they would cost you $2.97. If you bought them on the iPad, it would be like just shy of $6. It'd be like $5.97. If you buy them on the 3DS, it's $30. If you buy it on the consoles, it's $40. So they're taking $7 for the iPad, or nothing if you have an Android tablet, because all that stuff is free and has in-app purchases and things like that. And they're trying to convert you from spending $3 or $6 to spending $30 if you have a 3DS. They are adding things. There's a 3D mode and all that stuff, but that's like 10 times. I mean, that's a crazy amount of money to ask for.
Okay, so for you, what's reasonable? What would you pay?
I'd pay $3 or say maybe $6, $5.99.
For the 3? I'd pay 10. I'd go up to 10.
Maybe even 10. I mean, that would be as a download, that would be better than 30. Are you kidding me?
$30 is ridiculous.
I won't even buy Angry Birds merchandise. Like, my kids wanted to go as Angry Birds for Halloween, and the costumes are like $45. It's like,
oh my God.
It's like, no, I'm not spending $90 for big puffy bird costumes that look terrible. Like, I don't know. They're milking it, and I think they're maybe milking it a little bit too hard.
Watch. I would say this time next year, we're going to start seeing the crash of Angry Birds.
Yeah, they came out with their new game on iPhone and iPad called The Amazing Alex, and everybody was like, oh my God, they came out with a new game. It's so great. Well, they didn't even come up with that game. They actually bought it from another company. It was called... what was it called before? Casey's Contraptions. And they basically took Casey's Contraptions off of the App Store, reskinned it. They added more, like, different graphics to it. Looks more Disney-like. And they re-released it as Amazing Alex. It's like, so they have all this money in the world, and they still haven't come out with a new game that is all entirely theirs. So, I don't know. They might be a one-hit wonder. We'll see what happens if anything comes out after Angry Birds. But definitely isn't going to do it for him spending.
So how do you like the Angry Alex or Amazing Alex?
It's like, do you remember the Incredible Machine? The old like Windows game, like Windows 3.1 era, like where you have to put a bunch of things together, and then it's like physics based. So you drop a bowling ball, and it makes a teeter-totter go and cuts some balloons or whatever. It's essentially that. I mean, it's a decent game. I liked it better as Casey's Contraptions, because it didn't look as like, I don't know, it looks too polished now, but not polished, if that makes any sense. Like they have like these like Pixar quality like character models and things like that, but it doesn't look right, because it looks definitely like you were just basically slapping that on top of another game. It just doesn't jive for whatever reason. But yeah, if you want to get Angry Birds on your 3DS, you can buy it for $30.
God, that's ridiculous.
Have fun with it. Have fun with the 3D mode, because that's exactly what this franchise needed. Yikes. Moving on. Some interesting comments have come out this week. People have been basically bugging Nintendo about why the 3DS XL. Why is it coming out? Why is it so big? And why doesn't it have a second circle pad? And I think Nintendo's going into kind of like a damage recovery mode, because they're getting this question a lot. A lot of different people like Michael Pachter, those types of analyst people, are asking the questions and predicting failures and stuff like that. So there was an interview this week that I'll link to. It was from The Independent, and Satoru Iwata said, the reason why the 3DS XL doesn't have a second analog stick is because it's not big enough. So there you go. It is
which
not
is which
big
is
enough.
even after the big conversation that we had on that one podcast.
Yeah.
um
That is the
I
stupidest
it is a
reason
stupid
ever.
argument. Yeah, absolutely.
If he would have said we didn't want to alienate our initial owners, I would say, you know what? That's a Nintendo way to do things. Sure, I get it. But it's not big enough. For one, it's big. For two, you're engineering this new system. So make it a bit bigger and then put one in. I mean, you're making it. It's not like someone's making it for you and you have to make do with what they give you, Nintendo. You are making it. You're engineering it from nothing to existence. You can make it a little bit bigger and put in that second analog stick if that's really the issue.
Yeah, and I don't remember if we confirmed it or not, but Nintendo did say that they are releasing the CirclePad Pro for the XL. So it's definitely coming.
Yeah.
Whether it comes to the States is unknown. They're saying that it's definitely coming for Japan. Price for it should be about $15, but they haven't confirmed it for other territories.
Yeah. Do you remember? Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Kramer made the table, the coffee table book that actually had legs that fold out?
Yes.
That is what the 3DS XL CirclePad Pro is going to have. It's going to have fold out table legs, so you can use it as a table because it's going to be so damn big. It's going to be like that NES coffee table that you saw, except that would be the CirclePad. You just slot your 3DS XL into it. It's going to be huge, man. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can carry it. I'm going to have to work out a little bit to lift.
Oh,
that much.
you're excited for it. You're excited. You'll buy the CirclePad Pro.
I will. If I buy 3DS XL, I will buy CirclePad Pro. You guarantee it. All right, moving on. The last of the 3DS news that's come out is, how we were talking about Kingdom Hearts getting kind of a collector's edition, which is really the first 3DS title or the first DS title really to have like an extra collector's edition, other than like there were some kids games that if like Thomas the Train that had like a Thomas inside of it and other crazy things that I saw at like Toys R Us or whatever. But the Kingdom Hearts was like kind of like the first real collector's edition. You can buy the game or you could buy the game with a bunch of extra junk. Well, it seems like that is going to be something that happens now. It was just announced that Adventure Time, Hey Ice King, Why'd You Steal Our Garbage, is going to be coming out with a collector's edition. So you can get the normal version, or you can get the collector's edition for $40 that comes with a stylus that's shaped like Finn's sword, a Land of Ooh poster, and a steelbook package. So that seems to be the thing now too. There's a lot of pre-orders up here in Canada. Future Shop, for to be specific, they have steelbook cases. So you get these replacement hard metal cases. You can get that for like New Super Mario Brothers 2. Instead of getting a pin, you could get a steelbook case instead. I don't really understand why people want steelbook cases. It doesn't really make sense to me. But anyway, and an art book will be included with that as well. So it seems to be like that's going to be the thing now. You could buy the game for $30 or spend $10 more and get a bunch of other random junk that you can clutter up your house with. So
and so it's just the cases, the metal, like the aluminum type. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, the steel book case. So it's aluminum kind of clamshell case for the thing, and then it has
they've done it for a lot of collector's editions in the past.
Yeah, like
right?
Halo started it. I think Halo 2 had that first, was the real first metal case for a game, and it seems like a lot of places are doing that now. Like NHL 12 had a big deal pre-order bonus here. You get a steelbook and stuff like that. So that's happening. But if you want an art book and a custom stylus, you pay $10 more and you'll get that. If you're a big Adventure Time fan, of course you'll want Finn's sword as a stylus. So why am I even talking to you now? You're probably already running to your store to pre-order it. So there you go. Collector's editions coming to the 3DS near you.
Exciting.
It is. I mean, it just means that it's a real platform now, because that's how publishers are making their money. They're selling collector's editions, selling you like night vision goggles and remote control buggies and things for $300. Yeah. Anyway, the only collector's edition I want. Did you see that the Marvel Avengers deluxe set that they're coming out with?
No.
Oh my God! It comes with what's the name of the cube in the Avengers? It's Tur something, right?
Yeah.
Trenion.
It's the Blu-ray set. Blu-ray set.
Tren something. Yeah, it's a Blu-ray set.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, what it has is it's a little case, and when you open it up, it has like the glowing cube, the transient or something, whatever it's called. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to feel really stupid that I can't remember what it's called. But it comes with what, of course, the Avengers. It comes with Hulk. It comes with Iron Man 1 and 2. It comes with Thor. All the movies, and then it has like this like glowing cube as kind of like this showpiece that you can open up. I would get that one in a second. I'm definitely gonna have to order that because that would look cool on my shelf. But I don't know, Stylus just doesn't do it to me.
I'm trying to look for it. I'm trying to look for the. I found it. The collector's edition looks amazing.
It's called the Tesseract, is what it's called.
Tesseract, that's it.
It's not the trans-dimensional cube thing. It's Tesseract. So yeah, that's
it's $140.
Yeah, but you get these 6 movies, dude, on Blu-ray, and some of them have 3D versions and normal versions as well.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
So that's pretty cool. Plus, it gets a glowing damn cube. I might actually. It would look really cool behind me on the shelf when I do podcasts. So I might have to get it just for that.
If you need a little extra light, you just move it towards you.
Just have my Tesseract on my head. That'd be great.
That'd be
I'll just duct tape it to my face. It would be great. All right, moving on. Talking about crazy stuff. Let's talk about Club Nintendo. We have a couple Club Nintendo stories.
Now, guys, before Lloyd gets into it, there were a handful of things that we talked about before we went on the air. Gun control being one of them.
Yes.
You know, current events and several other things. And for some reason, out of everything, Lloyd and I just catch up on current affairs before we do the podcast.
We do.
And this one thing pissed off Lloyd more than anything else that we talked about today.
It didn't piss me off. It made me kind of sad, actually. And that is, if you're in Europe, you're lucky if you are. Your Club Nintendo has awesome prizes compared to ours. It was just announced by Nintendo that if you have Nintendo Stars for Club Nintendo UK or Club Nintendo Europe, you can actually get physical copies of the Mario Kart trophies. So there's the Leaf, the Shell, and Special Cup, and they're trophies. They're like 12 centimeters by 10 centimeters, so they're not huge, but they're awesome looking, and
they are so slick.
You can get them. They're expensive though. They're like 5,000 stars. I don't know what that means.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't either.
It's probably like,
what's the exchange rate these days?
Yeah, how many stars per coin do you get these days? Is it like Bitcoins? Do you have to trade them in and mine them yourself? I don't know.
Bitcoin is doing hot right now, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
I never got into that. I don't have the $8,000 to buy video cards that I would need to start mining them myself.
Is that what it takes?
Oh yeah. If you have lots of GPUs, you can.
Ooh, I could start it at work.
Mine it like a boss. There you go. Yeah, you can do it at work. That'd be great.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
That wouldn't be illegal at all.
It wouldn't be?
That wouldn't be conflict of interest. Not at all. Making
no,
money.
So why? So it'd be illegal if I did it at work?
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it would be illegal. It'd probably be against your terms of your employ. Your boss would probably not like it if you're using their equipment to make money for yourself.
They don't have to know, dummy.
They're not going to know you taking all of the video cards out of all the machines and putting them into like a rack
at
somewhere.
Night? At night? No way.
All right, do it.
Yeah.
Do it, and we'll share the coins.
I'm gonna do it. Oh, I didn't get into that agreement. Yeah. Or are you blackmailing me now?
No. Well,
is that the deal?
I might say something if I happen to be saying something into a phone at the same time that your boss picks up the phone. Okay. Maybe that would happen. I'm not going to say I'm going to tattle on you, though.
A horrible person.
Moving on. Club Nintendo downloadable titles. Last episode, we said that some of the games are only available for a short period of time. Well, the game that was pulled down, Electroplankton Rec has been replaced with Starship Defense, which is kind of like a hand-drawn, pencil-looking desktop tower defense. So it looks like Nintendo's going to be changing things up. Instead of having 3 or 4 games that are available for the whole month, they're going to be doing subs in and out as the month goes on. So if that game gets you excited, it's playable on your 3DS, and it's 150 coins, and it's available till July 29th. So if you want to download it, you have up until then. So do it. It'll be gone before we
do it.
It'll be gone before we put out another Nintendo Pulse. So we won't tell you about it again. This is your last and final warning.
Something that we've all talked about before, and I just kind of wanted to bring it up because this guy, he's a little presumptuous. For former COO Bing Gordon of EA.
Oh, Bing Gordon. I know that guy.
Yeah. You know Bing Gordon?
I've heard his name before.
Yeah.
No,
and actually,
never.
I just watched You've never heard of Bing Gordon, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay. He's COO, used to be COO in 2008 of EA, and he had a pretty good interview. He's actually a pretty bright guy. He's working for what's the investment firm now? Perkins, something Perkins.
Kleiner
Perkins.
Kleiner Perkins.
Yeah. They
Tesseract Perkins.
Tesseract, the Tesla Perkins project.
The transdimensional cube glowing thing that was in the bottom of the ocean.
The
Perkins.
Cybertron Perkins Investment Group.
Yes.
We're getting a lot of things mixed up now.
We are.
So the Bing search engine did an interview with GameIndustry.biz. And actually, it's a pretty good interview. He goes on, he talks a little bit about, they ask him questions about the future of the industry, blah, blah, blah. What are you laughing at now?
You said the Bing search engine did an interview.
Yeah.
With
that was the joke.
Yeah. I was like, did you do that on purpose or
I totally did.
Was that an accident?
No. Because I wanted to keep going, but you didn't jump in. And so I had to then backpedal.
I was going to say, did the Bing search engine become like conscious?
Autonomous,
is it Skynet?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
That's what I was.
Okay.
And then you jumped in. Like,
I didn't think you were that clever.
After I turned
in my
serious.
defense, I did not think you were that smart. So I did not think you would put that joke out there for me to follow up on. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I think so little of your humor.
Oh God, it was so. I set it up for you, and then I was like, oh well, I guess he's gonna leave me high and dry. So then I had to get serious again.
Wow, we got to do these long news story podcasts more often. This is hilarious. I'm having a good time.
And then we could have even went on with Flash Gordon, and it could have just continued on
and
for
then
another
Flesh
30 minutes.
Gordon. We could have went there and talked about that great movie.
And then Flesh Lights, and then something else.
We would have had more sponsors. It would have been great. We would have been rich. And
I think they're the only sponsors of any podcast, by the way.
I don't listen to those podcasts, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, you don't?
The Smodcast Network.
Oh,
anyway, go ahead.
So Bing Gordon, he gets asked what he thinks about the Wii U and its chances during the Christmas period and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. He makes it very apparent very quickly because he basically ignores the question altogether and just says they're going to become a software company. First sentence right out the gate.
Of course.
And that was his reaction. They asked him, what are the chances of Wii U doing well this Christmas and beyond? And talks about the competition with tablets and whatnot.
Right.
And he just says right out from the get-go that it's already on track to become a software company. Don't you think if we would have asked Bing in 2005 where Nintendo was going to be headed, he would have said the same thing?
I'm going to go to Bing.com and I'll say, where is Nintendo headed? And we'll see. Ice White Nintendo 3DS headed to Europe. They're headed to Europe.
They're headed to
you
Europe.
You have it here first. Bing has said
they are going.
That Nintendo is heading to Europe.
To Europe.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the next big market, is the European market.
Well, they have great trophies. It's awesome.
Ah, it's awesome.
So good
stuff.
So yeah, he's basically talking out his butt.
He's talking out his butt, and come on, like even if Nintendo screws up this generation royally, which with the 3DS that doesn't look like it's going to happen.
True.
The Wii U's not even released yet, but coming off of the Wii and having as much money as Nintendo has, they could go for at least another generation.
You would think so. I mean, I've said on record on the show and others that
on record, because what we say off the record is vastly different than what we say on podcast.
But I like saying things on podcasts so that I come back and say, look, I was wrong, so very wrong. I'm an idiot. Is what I like to do. But I said basically that this generation coming up, so whatever the next Xbox is, whatever the next PS3 is, and the Wii U, those will be the last consoles. I can't see a future where the Wii U 2 comes out. Maybe Nintendo might be the only one that would rev again, because they're kind of behind the curve again with whatever Nintendo and Sony are going to be bringing out, because they're going to be kick-ass. Right. But I can't see 2 more PlayStations coming out. I can see 1 more, and that's pretty much it. And you're going to have a whole vast shift of the industry. So you're going to go from from desktops and laptops to cell phones and tablets. You're going to go from normal televisions to internet connected televisions, where all your content is coming from other places. I can't see consoles fitting in that future. So I don't think I don't think like Nintendo consoles are going to be very long for this world. So you're going to have one more, and then who knows, maybe they'll make some apps for your television, or they'll make an app for like Android or iOS. Maybe in 10 years that'll be what happens. But definitely not this generation. Like the Wii U isn't out yet. The Wii U is going to come out and it's going to sell like crazy because everybody loves Nintendo and they're going to want to play Nintendo games. But I can't see another console coming out. Maybe Nintendo, but other manufacturers, I just don't see it happening. So
well, it's
he could be right,
like,
but he's 10 years early.
But that's the thing. It's like that assumption it's a pretty strong assumption, but you got to be a little bit more. That's like to say the way our notebooks, the way we know them now, are going to be completely different. But then not really state when they're going to be like.
Well, it's like saying Ford, they make a lot of vehicles. They should just stop producing all diesel and gasoline cars today because the future is just electric.
Electric, right?
Which
exactly
it is,
it is,
but not today. 10 years from now, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's exactly that type of comment. But he works for an investment in industry or agency. Yeah. That's what they do. They pull stuff out of the air and convince people that that's right so that they can get people to invest into it. It's like Michael Pachter. He speculates what's going to happen and hopes that he gets it right so that people invest in the right companies. So sure. I mean, the future definitely is the iPad. It's the Android tablet. It's maybe Microsoft Surface. Who knows? That is what computing is going to be in 10 years. Is you're not going to have a computer anymore, except if you have very specific stuff that you have to do. Like if I'm recording a podcast, I'm going to need a machine to do it. But everybody else in my house, they're going to be using their phone or tablet. My kids are going to be doing all their homework on a tablet. They're not going to have a laptop.
The same thing can be applied to consoles, though. Like exactly. People are still going to want a dedicated system to do dedicated things because that's just the way it's going to work.
Maybe it's just going to be the tablet. That'll be it. Like iOS will take over, or Android's going to take over.
Okay, let me get this straight.
Microsoft's
so you would want to play a Call of Duty game, watching on your TV screen, but controlling it with your tablet.
Maybe
and exclusively your tablet.
Yeah.
No.
You'd have some sort of controller that would be Bluetooth enabled.
Controller.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but you're not going to have.
That's not a tablet.
Well, it's a tablet. The tablet is the computer, or your television is a computer. Like, who knows? In 10 years, maybe computers or
who knows? There's going to be I'm going to have a TV big blob, and I'm going to throw it at the wall, and that'll be the TV screen, and I'll be able to take this blob wherever I go, and I'll be able to stretch it, and I'll put it on my face, and then I won't even have to look at a screen because it'll be on my face all the time.
Are you going to have to feed it jelly beans?
Actually, ectoplasm.
Oh, but a boy in his blob, you fed him jelly beans and he did stuff. That'd be exactly. Right. Bring it back to Nintendo.
I like Slimer.
Bring it back.
Slimer's the best blob ever.
But yeah, like in 10 years, maybe your television will be that. It'll be
maybe it'll be the blob.
The
blob.
The future
sounds awesome.
I will register the future is a blob.com if it doesn't already exist.
Okay, please do.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I encourage you to, or anybody that's listening right now, register it and point it towards Nintendo Pulse somehow.
Now, and something that he did say that was interesting that we kind of also talked about is one line that I did dig was by far, so far when Miyamoto makes a perfect game in his career, he makes games worth $200. It's worth buying a system for, and that's pretty much true. Like that's
true-ish.
That is what Miyamoto does.
Yep.
True-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say true-ish.
It's true, but not a lot of people these days would be willing to buy a console for one game. Otherwise, the Vita would be selling.
But a collection of Miyamoto games, definitely.
Exactly.
So, but the thing is, and what Miyamoto and what we've talked about is Miyamoto is trying to, download all of his information to his underlings.
Yeah.
and create little Miyamotos, little mini Miyamotos. That
Yeah.
should be a game. A
Mini
Nintendo
Mias. They'll call them
mini
mini
Miyas.
Mias, and he throws
Yeah.
them, and they pick up plants
Mini
and fruits and stuff.
Miyas. Is that what Mario's been saying all these years?
That it all comes together. It all
Ah,
comes together.
get
You've
it.
solved the puzzle.
Oh man, this is like Da Vinci Code right now.
It's like
You guys
national
are
treasure, man.
Oh
It's
shit.
great.
I mean, oh snap.
It's
Bleep that out, please.
It's great. No, I won't bleep it out. It's fine. Nicolas Cage is going to be coming to your house right away, and he's going to be trying to like tear off all your paintings and look for other things behind them
Ooh,
because you
at least they're
solved.
my paintings and not something else.
Oh, I said. Did I say? I meant pants. I meant pants. Sorry. All right, moving on. Wow. You know how we.
And this is not even as exciting as like this last one.
It's
this,
not
this
exciting
tangent-
as Nicolas Cage ripping off pants. I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to be that exciting.
Can you please pronounce his last name before we get into it?
Nicolas Cage?
Yves? No, CEO of Ubisoft.
Where are you looking at that?
The next line.
Oh,
the next
you skipped two stories. I was jumping back.
two stories.
Yeah.
Why were you gonna jump back? You're cheating.
When we're talking about the unified online accounts. So
Yeah. Well, you skipped it already, so I
Well,
figured
you skipped it, Mr. Jumped ahead to talk about your Bing. Anyway, we've said a couple times in the show that it's been highly rumored and pretty much said by Nintendo reps that in the future you're going to have one Nintendo account for both your 3DS and your Wii U. There's no official announcement, and it looks like maybe there won't be one. Charlie Cibetta, who's a senior director of corporate communications at Nintendo America, said Nintendo's already announced the Nintendo Network as a unified network platform that delivers content and future online service to Nintendo 3DS systems and the upcoming Wii U. These services include, but are not limited to, multiplayer online play, blah, 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 blah. But he goes on to say there's no current announcement concerning a unified online account system between the Wii U and Nintendo 3DS, which suggests payment implications that Nintendo is not ready to confirm at this time. So essentially, maybe Nintendo doesn't want to get rid of Nintendo point cards for the Wii U and Nintendo point cards for the 3DS. They still want to have those as separate. I really hope that's not the case. I really hope that they go to no point cards, just dollars. And I can go to the store and buy $20 in Nintendo Space Bucks and charge up my account with that and use it to buy whatever game I want.
I mean, okay, they're gonna still be able to charge a premium for some of their pieces of software and whatnot, but god damn it, they need to make it easier for people to buy things.
Yeah.
They need to stop. They need to stop with this. Like, it's just it's chaotic and not fun.
App Store won that game. That they got the high score and no one can beat them. You buy stuff with real money, and everything is going that way. The PlayStation is that way now. The Xbox is rumored to be going there really soon, so there's going to be no more Microsoft points. You'll be buying things with real dollars. Nintendo needs to go that way as well, and it's good for parents because then they know that their kid wants a game that is $4.99, not like 200 points or 600 points. Like that means absolutely nothing to parents. And if Nintendo wants to be friendly to parents as well, they really got to kind of do this.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. So maybe there won't be unified accounts, but when we hear any more, we'll definitely let you guys know. And speaking of the Wii U, there's been some game listings leaking all over the net where things like Best Buys and EB Games, and it's pointing to the Wii U launching sometime in mid-November, with a possible launch on November 18th, which is a Sunday, which makes sense because Nintendo likes to do things on Sundays. So if that's the case, mid-November, just in time to pick up before the holidays. So if you want to get your Wii U in, you might want to pre-order it because it's coming pretty soon. November's not that far away, man.
It's not at all, really, at all.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
All right. So
And
now,
speaking of,
what did you want me to do? You want me to do something? Dance like a little monkey for you? Is that what you want?
dance like a little monkey. President of Ubisoft.
His name is Yves Guillemot.
Guillemot.
Guillemot. Yeah, Guillemot.
Gizmo.
Guillemot. It's Guillemot.
Guile from Street Fighter
Yes.
said he thinks that the Wii U is very cheap to develop for.
Which is pretty interesting, actually. When you think about it, because it is essentially a Wii console, but it has a whole bunch of other features built into it that you have to program around. But I guess that the same way that Wii was cheap because it's essentially two GameCubes duct taped together, which was the big joke for the longest time. Maybe the Wii U is just two Wiis taped together. So you basically, if you can write a Wii game, you can write a Wii U game, and you just have more power to make it prettier.
So what he says that there's gonna be 7 games that are gonna be available at launch on the Wii U. So that's solid confirmation that at least we'll have 7 Ubisoft titles that are gonna be available. 5 of them are ports from other games. So games like which are the ports that he's listing? Um, oh yeah, I lost my. Anyways,
I don't see it in the notes, so that's
me
fine.
either.
Oh yeah, there you go. Assassin's Creed, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, Raving Rabbids, Killer
That's
Freaks
right.
from Outer
Killer
Space.
Freaks from Outer Space.
There's
I
some
don't even
other
know
ones.
what that one. I don't even know what that one
Yeah, I
is.
have no idea what that is.
But the 2 games that are actually going to be console exclusive or unique anyway are going to be Zombie U and Rayman Legends. And we've talked about how amazing Rayman Legends looks. It's going to be phenomenal.
It looks like Rayman looks really good right now. Like the current Rayman that you can get on all the different consoles. It looks good. It looks hand drawn. It looks like someone animated
Fluid. It looks gorgeous.
Then you look at Rayman Legends, it looks that much better.
Yeah.
Like it looks much better. Just the animation, the fidelity, because it's in 1080p, it looks that much better on your screen. That'll definitely be a game I'll be picking up at launch just to see what it looks like on my television.
Yeah. And basically, he says and now, yeah, you have to take this with a grain of salt, but he says that the investment into those 2 games is significantly less than something like Assassin's Creed, like a big budget title, platform franchise. Now, granted, Rayman Legends is a 2D platformer. Probably doesn't cost that much to begin with.
Right.
Zombie U didn't seem like it was all that expensive to produce, but the fact that he's kind of gloating about that it's easy to develop for, cheap to develop for, and doesn't cost that much is a positive thing. I mean, it gets developers upbeat, gets them excited about developing for the console. So it's at least he's not saying the opposite.
Yeah, this system is a bear. We're developing on other systems first, and then translating it over and cross compiling it and porting, similar to what like PS3 went through. Like it was so hard to develop for the PS3. People would make a game on the Xbox 360 and then port it over. So the PS3 version was always the worst version. That's no longer the case because Sony smartened up and started making better tools. At least it shows that Nintendo has some really mature tools that people are able to use when they make games. So I mean that's a good thing. That gets more developers psyched for your platform and is going to make better games come out closer to launch because there isn't going to be that much of a learning curve for the developers, which is a very good thing.
Yeah, he also goes on to say that, and this part's kind of interesting. Kind of gives you an idea what a port costs to move over to another console. Of the 5 games, they're talking really small budgets of less than €1 million to make some of those ports.
Nice.
That's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap
that's
to
pretty
just
cheap.
yeah. And all these games are going to be available at launch, which is exciting. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, million euros. That's actually really cheap.
Really cheap, yeah.
When you think that, say it costs 40 euros, or they make 40 euros when a game sells, or maybe even just like 30 euros, just to kind of to factor. They only have to sell what like 3,500 copies to start making money on that. I mean, that's pretty good. That's actually really good. So yeah, I mean, if the Wii U is that easy to port stuff over, I mean, you're going to get a lot of games that are on other consoles are going to come here just because it doesn't cost much to bring it over, and you might as well have it on more platforms.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. All right, man. Well, that's going to do it. That was a crazy hour of talking and laughing.
I've been on Skype with you for 2 hours.
That long? I don't want to talk to you that long. That's terrible.
Let's end this.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you think. Also, just a reminder before we head out. This podcast is going to be only recorded every 2 weeks, so it's no longer a weekly episode. Although we weren't weekly very often, we were very weak at being weekly. But now we're committing to doing it once every 2 weeks. So looks like your video froze. That's really weird.
Did it?
Yeah, your face is.
I'm still frozen.
You're frozen.
That's weird.
You can turn your video off and back on again if you want, or not, whatever.
There you
go. So yeah, we're going to be recording this every 2 weeks. Also a reminder, we are doing the bonus stage every Friday at 10 p.m. So if you want to watch a podcast every week, you can do that. 10 p.m. Central, head on over to vgpodcast.com/live and watch us record the bonus stage. It's a fun show. A lot of general gaming news, just gaming scene news, and also we talk about music and stuff as well. Gaming music and play some stuff. So it's a fun show, and we encourage you to check it out every Friday at 10 p.m. Central. Cool. But we want to hear from you. Head on over to vgpodcast.com, click contact us at the top of the page, or email us directly at vgpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can also leave a voicemail. Our voicemail line is area code 505 VG Podcasts. All right, Edgar, that was a good show. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me, man.
Absolutely. Where's the music?
What do you say? Do you want Kid Icarus? Do you want Donkey Kong?
Give me Donkey. Give me Donkey.
Donkey Kong? All right.
Yeah.
There we go. Turn that one back up. There we go, guys. All right. Until next week, take it easy, and until next 2 weeks, take it easy. And I'll talk to you in a couple weeks' time, guys.
Bye, guys.
Later.